And you go to the CVS store, which is like a local pharmacy, and you can get the exact same band, exact same brand for $6.
What?
Like, seriously?
$6!
And this is what happens. Like,
Huge difference.
if you're conscious and if you can make choices.
Hey guys, loud guys, today we are going to watch 5 things that freaked her out in America. So there are some things that you don't like and there are some things that you might find weird. But if they are freaking you out, then there are some really, really weird things. So let's watch this
video.
The first thing that really freaks me out is fines. So here's the story. We bought a new car, we put it into our parking basement, and we were so excited about it, I forgot to tell my building that we have a new car. But the story is, next day, we're super excited, we want to go somewhere on a new car. We go down to the garage, and there is no car. So it got towed away, and I'm calling the towaway service, and I'm asking, hey, did you tow away Mercedes? And they're like, yes, we did.
Why?
And how much does it cost to pick it up? And she's like, okay, I'm gonna take a pause here. Just take a couple of seconds and remember how much does it cost to get your car back.
How much?
In your city? Like in St. Petersburg, where I'm from, it costs around $80. And here she goes, $600.
Oh.
So my reaction was like,
What?
Because I thought I heard something different. Like seriously, $600 for a towed car. And it's not like they took it next vlog. They also took it like 40 minutes away from my building.
Oh my God.
Why haven't they taken it to LA? Like, this is so crazy. And also the amount of fines that you get here. So parking in San Francisco, 1 hour costs around $4. And this is the story that happened to me a couple months ago. So I left my car, I paid for 1 hour of parking, I came back, I was 2 minutes late, my fault.
2 minutes late?
The fine was $88
Oh.
being late for 2 minutes. I think this is incredible. And when I'm getting these fines, I'm like, why am I here?
Actually.
Why do I have to pay all of that?
In India we fight.
I love this place, I love the Silicon Valley, and I make a separate video about why I'm here. I'm gonna go to the next thing that freaks me out. Thing number 2, the cost of medical care.
Oh yes,
So I have my
about
insurance
this.
that costs $350. I still have to pay, like this $350 is per month, not per year.
Per month?
In Russia, like if you pay for, the best insurance would be like $1,000 per year. So yeah, I pay $350 a month, and I still have to pay for every single visit. So if I see my PCP, I pay $20. If I see a specialist, I pay $40. But the most interesting part comes later. So you come and see a doctor, and imagine that something goes wrong, and he's like, oh, we need to do this and this, like let's do an ultrasound, or I will give you a plastic band for your arm that hurts. And you're like, okay, let's do it because doctor advises. And then in 2 months, you get a bill from that doctor that this plastic band for your arm cost $400. And you go to the CVS store, which is like a local pharmacy, and you can get the exact same band, exact same brand for $6.
What?
Like, seriously?
$6!
And this is what happens. Like,
Huge difference.
if you're conscious and if you can make choices, then you would say like, no, I don't need your band.
Oh
Then you
my
save $400. Because
God.
sometimes insurance doesn't cover this. It says like, this is the cost that you have to carry.
That is
Then
too
coming
much.
down. But imagine something bad happens, like when you cannot control what other people do and you cannot say, no, please don't do the ultrasound, I know how much it costs. And you still have your copay, you still have your out-of-pocket expense. So getting sick in America is really expensive. And there is this video that went viral on Facebook. The guy needed to replace his hip, and it cost around, I don't remember the exact numbers, but it cost him like $50,000 in the States. And he said for that amount of money, he could have flown to Spain, business class, replace the hip, then go to the mountains, ski, break his hip again, replace the hip again, spend some time in the south of France, relaxing and enjoying the sun, and come back to the States, and he would still have $5,000 left. Like, can you imagine?
Wow.
Oh
What a
my
calculation.
God.
And you can double all of that in India.
Yeah.
So,
Huge.
$50,000 is too much for hip replacement.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my God, that is You guys are crazy. I don't know how you are living.
I want to just be safe whenever I will visit US. I don't want my any part to be broken, no accident, nothing. I want to do all my operations in India only.
Actually, it's about 40-50 lakhs for hip replacement. That
my
is
God.
crazy amount.
You can
And
buy a house in that.
these are actually very, very freaky things. Like even the parking thing, like $88 for 2 minutes. Like I have seen Indians, like, you know, when like in India also they started a very big fine.
Yeah.
So even long fines used to be given. So there was one person who gave away his bicycle. He said,
Yeah, I don't want.
his motorcycle. He said, I don't want it. I will not pay the bill. So that's how like we Indians
They're
are.
so stubborn in that.
Actually.
This, like, I think this can be fixed with a more expensive insurance, but last time I caught a virus and I was at home, I was really afraid that it might get worse. So before I got the fever, I tried to Google all the urgent care centers that are in my insurance, so I don't come to an urgent care that is outside my insurance and I have to pay all of the fees. The third thing, internet and mobile phone. So again, I'm comparing with my country and I'm comparing Silicon Valley to St. Petersburg. I know it can be different in different parts of the United States, but my internet here is provided by Xfinity Comcast, and if you've ever called their customer service, like this video, so I called their customer service at least 20 times because they have told me I'm gonna have a specific speed, and my speed is always like 5 times slower. And you call them during the day and you say, hey, the speed is actually slower than you promised, and they're like, oh, you should reboot your router and wait about 24 hours and everything is going to be fine. And you do that and you call them the next day because
This happens in India
that
too.
happens, and you have a different customer support guy who tells you, oh, you should reboot your
Reboot.
router and wait for 24 hours. So after 4th day, I call them back and I'm like starting to freak out, and they send in an electrician or a specialist who checks the wires, and he says the wire, the Comcast wire that goes into my house is actually really old, and this is what I'm getting. And I'm like, thank you, that's amazing. And I pay $80 a month for my internet. And the second thing is mobile phone. I pay $40 and I only get 4 gigabytes of internet, and the rest I need to pay for it. Yes, calls and texts are free, but then in Russia I pay like less than $10 a month. Thing number
This
four.
is crazy. I think so. You can never hear what Indians pay. Like for my broadband, I remember I pay $100, $100 or $120, and that too for the year, and and I get 100 Mbps speed, and that too unlimited data. And as far as my phone is concerned, I pay only, like, you can say $4 or $5, and that too for 3 months. Unlimited data, unlimited calls or text, everything. So that's how
sorted here.
Yes, that's how cheap we live.
I know this is a San Francisco thing, but seriously, an average 1-bedroom apartment here costs $3,500 or like $4,000. And when you go out of your building, you want to enjoy the city vibes, you want to enjoy the nature. But when I go out of my building, I see homeless people everywhere. And there is nothing that is done to put them away from the streets. There are loads and loads of them, and if you've been to San Francisco, you've probably seen them. They sleep out there in the streets, they eat there.
In America?
They also take drugs in the streets, and many of them are mentally ill. And it's like they don't touch people, they just live in their own worlds. But sometimes, like, if they find something in you, they can follow you and scream at you and shout. And this makes me really intimidated and scared because I'm afraid something's gonna happen. And once I tried to help one of the homeless people and I gave him some money, and you know what he's done? So I gave him change, and he sat there and he started throwing away 1-cent coins because this is obviously too small. I don't know, like, if you guys know why this is happening and what can be done to help those people, but I think there are too much of homeless people in San Francisco streets.
I've never heard this about America.
I know many people from Europe would understand me. Tax once you pay. So you never see the amount of tax you're gonna pay beforehand. You only find it out at the cashier when you're actually giving money. And for example, you go to have lunch and you see that the sandwich is like $7 and the drink is $1.5. And you're like, hey, I'm gonna spend $8.5, but you come to this lady to pay and she says $9.50 or whatever. I still don't know which is the exact amount of tax here, but and it's okay when it's lunch, like it's extra $1 extra, 60 cents extra. But if you're buying something big and you save money for it, and then at the checkout you actually find you have to pay $300 more or $400 more.
Yeah, in India also it is like that only.
And I don't know why it's impossible to just write down the amount of tax included into price. This is really weird for me.
The tax thing, I think so, is very similar to in India, because in India also we have the same thing, that the food price is given and then in the end they calculate the whole IGST, CGST tax and then they give you the whole price. So it is also same in America, but like all the other things, or like even the homeless people, I think so I can relate to it, because in India also that is an issue. We go out to eat and we are doing anything, and I think so foreigners coming to India might have experienced the same. Whenever you're doing something and there will be beggars coming to you and they'll be like, give us and do this and that, and they annoy you because either you give it to them or you not give it to them. So if you give it to them, there are more coming in. If you don't give it to them, then they continuously harass you like, give it.
Yeah,
So
that's a huge problem. Even I have also seen, but what we say is give them food but don't give them any money, because we don't know how they are going to use it. So but I think government should do something about them. Even in India, I think, how could we help them? They will be dependent on us. They will not do their own something, some small business or something that could earn. They just have to lay down, and they just don't have to put any effort. At first when I was a kid, I used to think they are so poor, they cannot do this, but now I got to understand that if we have proper hands, we have brain, everything, we can do anything. And if we talk about the medical expenses, oh my god, that is crazy. And the story she told us about that guy of that leg thing, that was crazy.
that was actually very, very crazy. So what do you guys think about it? Do let us know in the comment section below. So do like, share and
Subscribe.
bye.
Bye.